What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Password. In the previous video we did on this game, we just started off the game. We're still on day one, and I ended up I was gonna record longer for that one because, well, good game so far, good visual novel so far. I love it, and we are going to play it today. We are going to continue it today. It's going to be slightly longer video, and I'm gonna try not to stutter as much. So last time we left off at this, so explore outside, ground floor, first floor, second floor, basement, and finishing. We are, let's go to the, let's check the ground floor. I wandered, oh, I had to fix my microphone, sorry. I wandered into the dining room that the butler had pointed out to us before. The whole place seemed large, to the point that it almost seemed silly that only 7 of us were staying here. Well, 8 if you include the butler. Psst, Dave! I looked up from staring at the table to see a swing door rock back and forth in the wake of a yellowed tail disappeared behind it. Hey, Orlando? I found the kitchen! He gestured broadly, chest puffed out before returning to his normal half slouch. It's got everything in it. It's got anything and everything you could hope for in the way of ingredients, even the expensive stuff too. I gave him a weary smile, unsure of what to make of this information. Caviar? Sure. Also, saffron, truffles, basically anything you want. Cost isn't a factor here. Neat? Orlando huffed a small tendril of smoke wafting from one of his nostrils. I may have not had caviar too much, but it doesn't interest me. There are better things to put in your mouth anyway. As he turned around to look at the pantry, listing a bunch of things he suggested instead, I recognized a pattern. They were all baked goods. But he was all about baking, actually, right from the day we met up a week ago until a week ago, where he brought over some cookies from what's supposed failed attempt. Orlando's fails were a wild success. His bread was the fluffiest from how warm his hands got when kneading. His sweets were great too. But I guess if you want to try caviar, it's there. At least it's, I guess, ready to go? Well, maybe. After all, mansion, high life, when might I get another chance? Exactly! Mansion! Just maybe don't go shoveling it into your mouth if you like it. It's expensive and I don't think you could cover the bill easy. I guess we'll just have to get some baking done to make me snacks. That laugh out of him. I got a laugh out of him. I chuckled along too. Well, I was planning on using this space to keep my baking skills sharp. Have to keep my practice up if I want to run my own bakery someday. I looked around the kitchen, noticing aside from the ingredients that Orlando had pulled from the cupboard, there were snacks and sandwiches laid out. Are these? Orlando followed my finger as I pointed out the sandwiches. Oh, yeah, these were made by the butler. I think it's lunch. Should I go grab everyone? They know where it is, although I think he might have underestimated how much we might eat. Unless he's hidden the actual lunch somewhere. Or he hasn't made it yet. There's that too. Maybe? I took a sandwich, looking around and taking a bite. Hey, Orlando, are you the one who went out here? Oh, honey, you're also out, remember? No, I meant in the kitchen. Oh, right. I think I saw Dean and Sal head towards the pool while Roswell and Haas went upstairs. I'm not taking another bite of my sandwich. Gonna keep exploring after you finish your sandwich? We're still ways off from dinner, so you got some time to do something at least. Yeah, I might. Either that or take a nap. A nap? We can sleep on the bus. I don't know. Maybe I just need a little longer? Well, okay. But don't sleep too long or you won't sleep tonight. I wouldn't put it past Roswell to try to give you candy either. And that combination is just asking for trouble. I promise, I'll set an alarm to make sure I don't fall asleep through dinner. Look at this place apparently has a dinner bell. Still, set an alarm just in case. Gotcha. Glenda came and gave me a quick hug before turning to the pantry again. As for me, I'll hang out here to make sure Sal and Dean don't eat too many sandwiches when they finally show up. I'm less worried about Haas and Roswell eating them all. Just remember, you're allowed to have fun exploring too. I will, don't worry. I'll see you when it's time for dinner, or if you get bored looking around. Alrighty, see ya. With a wave, Orlando saw me off as I made my way to the side door. Sure enough, I ended up back in the foyer, wondering what I should do next. I should. Oh no, so guys, I finally decided to get a cup of water. Yeah, because I'm gonna be reading a lot. Anyways, let's explore outside to see what demons are there. At the back of the foyer were doors that led to the backyard. Even as I approached, I could see through the windows that this place was surrounded by woods. Even stepping outside, the mountain air hit me hard in how fresh and clean. It smelled earthy and pleasant, reminded me of Dean outside his normal honey scent. It's pretty great, isn't it? I blinked, having not even noticed Dean and Sal standing nearby. Much like me, they seemed to just be taking things in, but Dean approached me, putting an arm over my shoulder. He had a greenhouse out here too. He pointed out a structure off to the side, which looked more like a garden shed made out of wood and glass. Haven't had a proper look inside yet, but whatever's going on there seems to be faring well enough. Mimicking Dean's motion, Sal pointed to the massive green on the other side of the backyard. Edge mace. Seems big. No sooner were the words out of Sal's mouth that both of us looked to him. He was grinning happily to himself, mouth open, readying himself to make a lewd comment as he was prone to do. Sal rolled his eyes and moved his attention elsewhere, leaving me to move Dean's focus elsewhere. So, Dean, remind me, your family's in the lumber business, right? That's the gist of it, yeah. One side of the family, at least. Figured I'd go into it too eventually. What, an old Smokey is fine with that? Pfft, Gramps used to be a firefighter. Wasn't much of the logging business, but understood you need wood to build houses. Dean's grandfather wasn't the Smokey Bear, but that's what we called him. Being a firefighter and a bear just makes that nickname kind of stick. Not that his grandfather said anything to dissuade us from using that nickname anyway. How is he these days anyway? He's good. Whole family's good, really. Don't get to talk to them a whole lot these days. You know how it is, yeah? Have to earn my chops somehow first. I'm not really getting it, but Dean seemed sure that's what the correct move was. If earning his chops was what brought him to be out his way, then I'm thankful that's what allowed us to meet. When I looked to Sal, he seemed to be listening in, but as per usual, didn't seem to be actively contributing to the conversation. What about you, Sal? Wrestling still your thing? Yes and no. Physical therapy is what I'm going into. Wrestling is just a hobby. What, like wrestling on the TV? That's what? Yeah. I met Sal at the gym one night when I was working for a short stint to earn some cash. Turns out being a crocodile comes with natural talent for submissions. Something to do with death rolls or something. It's good exercise. I prefer not kind of wrestling myself, if I'm being honest. If you know what I mean. Okay. I can see Sal's jaw tighten, despite Dean's laughing off his own joke. I'll leave you guys to it. Dean removed his arm from my shoulder and saw me off with a wave, while Sal snapping his attention from Dean to me so he could do the same. Sal did not appreciate that. We're still on the ground floor, so let's check the basement out. The music stopped. There's a set of stairs leading down from the ground floor, descending into almost pitch. Oh, whoops. I saved a ton of times on. I went to go see like what other things you could possibly do on the bus, like if stuff would change depending on if you spoke to different people in a different order. I don't know. Or if you just didn't spoke to people. So I have a ton of saves from just like day one, like after I finished the first video. But set of stairs leading down to the ground floor, descending into almost pitch black. I fumbled forward, wandering and reaching around in search of a light switch. Suddenly the lights came on. Oh, neat. I stopped my sentence midway, feeling a sudden presence watching me as I turned to look. A set of hands landed heavily on my shoulders, making me squeak to tense up. Woo! The sound I made wasn't manly, but by any stretch. But as I turned around to look at Tyson, he seemed to be amused enough at my reaction, despite the daggers I was glaring into him. Die! There he is. What? You scared me. Yeah, and it was hilarious. Didn't think I'd get you got that good. I grumbled, rubbing my face. You're terrible. I bet you turned the lights off on purpose just so you could jump out at me. Me? Nah, never turned them on. Night vision's good enough to see down here fine. Wait, wolves have night... Yeah, wolves have night vision, I think. The longer I looked him over, the more I noticed that he was really trying hard not to squint, and he looked a little dazed. And you totally didn't just blind yourself to scare me either. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, there's not that much down here. You can go back upstairs now. No! I want to see what's down here. You've been down here a while, I think. Sure, fine, whatever. Go nuts looking. Or you could just tell me what's down here if that's a problem. There's a gym, only thing worth mentioning anyway. Looked around tied to the other door leading off. There's no way all of these just led to a gym and nowhere else. Just a gym, huh? Whoa. I gestured over to his shoulders into one door that looked different to the rest. It was big and looked heavy, and beyond being different to the others, it just looked out of place down there. Probably best if I show you. Come on, pup. He calls us pup. That's crazy. I like that. I like that, but the room beyond the door was a fairly small one. Its main features were really just a large door opposite where we came in. The door we came through was odd compared to the others. This new door was in our magnitude more strange. It even had a keypad next to it, as if wanting a combination to even open. What kind of room even is this? Beats me. Looks like a bank vault from a TV show. Even has the keypad on it. Wants a combination, and nothing I put in it gets to work. Not that I tried hard. Beeping got my nerves. I wandered over to have a look. It seemed like a functional keypad with letters promptly display a lot of the keys with numbers and symbols and a much smaller print above them, much like the computer keyboard. Well, at least we know it's a word, right? I guess. I don't know how many letters, and fuck knows if it's just some random letters at that. Oh. Pressing the same letters over and over to see if I get capped got me nowhere. Not even an incorrect sound getting me that I haven't pushed the confirm button. Wow, you weren't kidding. It's just a door, no telling what's on the other side. And frankly, unless it's a buttload of gold we get to keep, I don't care. I guess so. I looked at the door again, eyeing the keypad. It couldn't hurt to have an actual try, right? Maybe input password. Oh, we can actually type. Would this work? Hold on. So, the friend, oh, whoops. Whoops. Did not mean to literally, like, that didn't on my Discord will show there. But, let me go to the DM. My friend who suggested me the game password, he told me one thing in particular. He told me, let me see if I can find it. You guys can't see what I'm looking at because I'm looking at my Discord. I'm not leaking my Discord. Discord server is gonna be in the description, by the way. Make sure you guys join the Discord server. Okay. He said in the game you're going to have to input different passwords. I'm not gonna say which ones are which, but I will give you a hint as to which one of them is what or something. I can't read today, guys. Plus, so he just said the lovers. That's all he said after that. The lovers. So maybe I could. Lovers. Let's check what Ty said. Okay. Yeah. Let's check what Ty had said. This thing wasn't going to be a simple thing to open. So yeah, that didn't work. My friend screwed me over, guys. Mods, go to this house and okay, I'm joking. I'm joking. Guys, don't go harassing people. Much like what Ty had said, this thing wasn't going to be a simple thing to open. Well, I look back at Tyson, who seemed to not be paying attention. What? He's zoning out? Only thing I care about here is the gym. You have fun with the door, Dave. What? Don't care about me too? You stop that. Fucking brat. Poked my tongue out at him, thinking about the gym. You know, Salman want to use the gym too, so at least you'd have a gym partner. Nah, he's into wrestling, right? Can't just lift weights in peace. It's not like you had a gym membership back home. Nah, you just let me in sometimes while you were at work. Hey, I had an employee pass. I wasn't gonna use it. Yeah, it shows. Hey! As I huffed, Ty laughed to himself. Sure enough, a smile crept onto my face, having been affected by the laugh. So, what's your plan now? Probably do wait until Sunday. The rest of the house doesn't interest me all that much. Not even a little? I'll look around later. Well, okay. Don't worry, I'll be fine. See you at dinner, though. Followed Tyson back out into the basement proper and watched as he continued straight into another room, presumably the gym. As for me, I detoured and wandered back upstairs, pondering to what I should do next. Let's go to the first floor, guys. The first floor was where all the bedrooms were. Each one was fitted with its own bathroom, and most of it all seemed to be furnished the same. If my hotel room looked like this, guys, oh my god. I'm guessing like the bathroom is probably either on this side or probably like behind this wall. And there's like a door on the side. You guys know what I mean? That's how I imagine this, at least. The first floor was where all the bathrooms were, each one fitting with its own bathroom, and most of, if not all, seemed to be furnished the same. It was almost like a hotel, really. A really strange hotel, given the room seemed to be set up for just a single person. Or maybe a few smaller people, given the size of the bed. Dean and Sal were easily the largest in our group, and the bed seemed to be made for people of their size. Not that I was complaining. The idea of space seemed great, if maybe a little lonely. I looked around a few of the other ones, and the butler had pointed out to us. For being off limits, they were easy enough to get to, and not really well marked. But they were bare of even a bed, and soon I found myself returning to my own. My mind wandered towards Roswell, Haas, and Dean. The first two were small enough to consider bunking up with, given the size of the beds, but maybe they just wanted the privacy? As for Dean, well, that was probably a better idea if you weren't sharing a bed just yet. I was still undecided about how fast I should be moving for someone that was looking for a proper date. Sleeping in the same bed seemed to have expectations. True that. I stepped out over the banister, wondering where everyone else was. Not that, by the way, not that I would know. Not that I would know, guys. Linda was likely still in the kitchen. Dean and Sal were probably still outside. Ty was still keeping himself in the gym. I worried about him sometimes. Maybe Haas and Roswell were upstairs? If the bedrooms were here, it wouldn't surprise me if they decided to see what sort of things were above us. Which, the more I thought about it, seemed a little odd to me. Maybe that's just how things were arranged in the house. After all, my room back at home was in the attic, or the top floor anyway, so maybe it was just used to having everything else in the house underneath. That would be so cool. I want my like, if when I move into my new house, I want my bedroom in the attic. If we have an attic, I would want my bedroom in the attic. It sounds pretty cool. I stretched, wondering what I should do next. Alright, second floor. Let's go see what Haas and Roswell were doing. As I made my way up the stairs, I could hear some people talking amongst themselves and how they were finding the place. When I entered the room, Haas and Roswell turned to me, flashing a smile each. There you are, Dave. This is pretty ritzy, huh? They even have a conservatory. What? It's like a glass sitting room. Oh, neat. Where is it? Dave, you're standing in it now. I caught Roswell snickering to himself while I looked around the place. Neat? Look at that smile, Roswell. Oh, that's so cute. Look at him. He's happy. You happy fella. You can't hear how good the acoustics are in here? It'd be great for doing some lines. Acoustics? This room isn't even the coolest thing on this floor. It's a museum too, or I guess it's more of a trophy room. There's a bunch of books though. Haas and I met at the start of the year, and an aspiring actor, if there ever was one. Rumor floated around about a failed TV star moving into the neighborhood, but I never expected, well, anyone like him. The day I ran to the Haas, I remember it being a little confusing, but I apparently had good energy as far as improv was concerned, even if I wasn't sure I was doing it right. As for us, well, we met as kids. We was really into magic tricks, even even if his tricks didn't always work, still, there was some things he was able to pull off that I couldn't figure out, and that was magical enough for me. I love how like the first day it's giving us the lore on like how we met everyone and all that. I love that. I was just into occult stuff. Not really sure why, but he finds it interesting and torments Orlando with it every now and again. Imagine if they had a skeleton on display. What kind? Any really. Dinosaurs will obviously be ideal. What, so you can compare Sal or Orlando for scale? Hey, doesn't have to be a dinosaur skeleton. Although, now that you mention it, there's also a library here too. One of those big ones. Looks like it might go across a couple floors, but I didn't really check. And a small study too. This place has everything, huh? Wonder why they needed all these things. Who used to live here? Don't ask me, I don't know. Weren't you the one who like arranged this whole thing with the mansion? Hold on, so this isn't one of your folks' house or a relative of yours? Well, they could be. I didn't really pay attention to the details, and my parents did most of the organizing anyway. That's fair. Okay, but surely you remember whose house this is. I was so excited. I was so excited. I didn't really think it'd be that important to commit to memory. Besides, when you got told you could spend a month in a mansion as a vacation, all expense paid, how much do you really need to be worrying about the details if it's organized by your parents? I guess. Still, maybe there's something around that tell us whose place this is. Now that I think about it, I should probably give some lore about my own character, my own Sona. Because I'm slowly and surely making a visual novel on my own. And main character you play as is funny enough also a hyena. Now, by the way, the visual novel, I thought of this before, like I saw this game. Before I met this game, I thought of my thing already. So, if it seems like I'm copying, I don't want the password developer suing me. If what I make sounds identical to that. Well, no, it's not. What am I even saying? Guys, you know when your brain goes on autopilot? You guys know when your brain goes on autopilot for a sec? Yeah, that's just what I don't even know what I'm saying. My thing is a fantasy. My thing is a fantasy novel. Okay, short thing. My novel Cliffside. It's basically you friends go to a hotel. Long story short, you and friends go to a hotel. A resort hotel on Cliffside Mountain. Mountain has its history. Magical things happen. Alternate dimensions and alternate dimensions. Travel through, meet new people. Blah blah blah. Anywho, let's continue. Well, we could ask the butler. He was expecting you, so I'm why am I doing Russell's voice? Well, we could ask the butler. He was expecting you, so I'm sure we're allowed to be here. Yeah, come dinner, we'll know. Outside, shaking his head, running a hand through his mane. Well, I'm gonna keep looking around, I think. Me too. There's still a few places I want to look at more thoroughly. What are your plans, Dave? I don't know. Might go find the others. Might go take a nap. Not too sure yet. Well, okay. You know where to find us if you get bored. But with a place this big, I might start looking around somewhere else. Alright, worst case scenario, I'll see you both at dinner. Sounds good to me. Head back into the foyer, looking over the banister, taking the stairs down. Thinking about what I want to do next. Finish exploring. I yawned, found my way to my room. As I flopped into my bed, I patted my stomach, sighing out having eaten something to tide me over till dinner. Nap on the bus was a couple hours, but even then, I didn't sleep well last night. Maybe it was the idea of being far from home for a whole month that made me uneasy. Maybe it was something else messing with me. Something had been bugging me ever since we pulled up. Something that was prodding in the back of my mind as if I'd forgotten something really important. I must have fallen asleep at some point. Every now and again I get dreams, but nothing really all that abnormal. Sure, there was sometimes random, but whose dreams weren't sometimes? I woke to the sound of something echoing around the house. Oh, the dinner bell? As I got up from my bed, I wondered how long I'd actually been asleep for. Hey, dinner's ready. This one must have been down the hall or maybe outside my door. It was hard to tell given how open this place was, and sound seemed to carry easily though. Which is probably why I heard the dinner bell as well. For a moment, I thought it was something like old-fashioned fire alarm. I stepped out from my room. I caught a glimpse of Roswell heading downstairs. Here's taking them two at a time before almost slipping and falling over as he bounded the last one a little too eagerly. I stepped into the dining room. I was greeted with a spread of food far too impressive and grandish for the seven of us. Dave, welcome. What do you think? Pretty good, huh? Wait, you made all this? He helped. Glenda laughed, waving Sal off, although it was clear he'd been busted. My attention went back to the table, looking over what food was there. Various smells assaulted me and made my mouth water sooner than I was able to identify what each thing was by sight alone. With all the food at one end of the table, the others seemed to be piling up their plates, taking it to the other end of the table. Much like the others, I took a plate and grabbed a little bit of everything before deciding where I wanted to sit. I felt like sitting in a high school cafeteria, except more intimate, and how much I was trying to figure out where to sit. The others were eyeing on me almost suspectfully. Yeah. Sit next to Sal, Dean, and Roswell. You know what? I want to sit next to Tyson. I love the fella. A notable distance away from everyone else was Tyson, and I felt a little bad. He didn't get on with everyone else here from what I could tell, and they didn't get on with him either. Still, he watched as I approached, his expression softened as I got closer, and eventually smiling by the time I reached to the chair next to him. You're gonna sit next to me, huh? That smile, bro. I know you're trying to play it off as no big deal. Where did I keep you company? You were all by yourself, after all. Yeah, and I like my space. You, on the other hand. He grabbed me roughly in a headlock and throwing an arm over my shoulder and grinding a knuckle into my head make me whine. You can't get enough of me, huh? He let me go, chuckling to himself as I gave him a disapproved stare. This is the type of person I like, where it's like... Tyson is exactly the type of person that I like, bro. Oh my god. I need him. Anyways. I could leave, you know. Just watch. Plenty of other places to sit. He stared at me deadpan. Go on then. Now I was torn between if I should stay or if I should go. The moment I shifted though, his hand found my shoulder and firmly held me down to my seat. Too slow. You're stuck here. Too slow. You're stuck here now. With one hand on my shoulder, he skewered some meat with his fork and shoveled it into his mouth. When he's sure I wasn't going anywhere, he removed his hand. You doing alright? Yeah. Why? Are you? I'm fine. Still wondered why you invited me to this though. My friend too, Ty. I asked if I could invite someone, so yeah. And you picked me to come to your end of the school thing. What's wrong with that? Got kicked out, remember? This isn't a celebration for me, so as much as just something to do. But are you liking it at least? Sure, this is great. At least the gym is. Fuck knows what else I'll be doing around here. Making friends, maybe? Yeah, good luck on that, pup. The rest of the meal, we ate in silence. Occasionally, me looking across to what Ty helped himself to and finding that was just meat and nothing but. Compared to what I said, I felt that maybe I should have offered Ty some vegetables, but he seemed content enough with what he picked. Ty? He whipped his mouth in the back of his arm, pushing his plate forward. Reckon there'll be a dessert? Why? Still hungry? Maybe a little. Besides, something sweet sounds nice. Something sweet, huh? What do you want? What do you mean, what do I want? What do you want? Fuck off. I asked first. Just tell me I'm gonna go steal it or find it or from somewhere. 1, stealing is bad. 2, unless it's already in the kitchen, I don't think you're going to find anywhere nearby to steal it from anyway. Got me there. I don't even know what I want, so that makes things harder. Damn. You said I'm not in the same boat. So, do you want something sweet? Free food is free food. I'll take what I can get. I was slowly wondering where I was going to get. It wasn't long before the door to the kitchen swung open with the butler emerging small trays of what appeared to be dessert. Dessert is served, gentlemen. However, this particular spread was mostly Master Orlando's contribution to the meal. Having tried to make something each of particularly like. to ease your stay here. I looked across to Orlando, who went bright red and flashed us all a bright smile. The butler wheeled a tray around the table, placing dessert in front of each of us. I knew what it meant. Oh, thank you. What is it, Master Dave? I don't think I got your name. Oh, I am no one important. Pay it no mind. Is it Jevis? Pardon? Your name. What about Alfred? Alfred? The butler eyed me carefully before speaking more clearly and plainly. You may call me Benson. It is a pleasure to meet you all. He bowed slightly before gently placing the dessert intended for me on the table. If I'll be old gentlemen, I hope you enjoy your dessert and enjoy the rest of your evening. Feel free to leave your plates where they are, and I will collect them later. I looked at the dessert placed in front of me and cooed softly. How was this? I looked up from what I had to what was set in front of Tyson. It's like chocolate cake. Ugh. What's wrong with chocolate? Also, what happened to you taking what you can get? And give me yours. Wait, why? Smells like coffee. Yeah, I like coffee. Yeah, chocolate cake. I have tiramisu. Trade me. No. Trade me. No. Steve. What if we share? I don't get what the big deal is. You like chocolate. I side shrugged. You like chocolate too, dumbass. Oh. So, share. Alright, share. Bro, their interaction is so... To me, it's confusing because I don't know what the relationship is like. Like, how good of, like, friends are they or whatnot? Compared to, like, everyone else, because apparently he's known as the local bully or whatnot. Oh, as I heard. By the way, I'm looking on the recording. Is his nose red? Is his nose red? Because I'm looking on my screen. It looks more black. But I'm looking on the recording. It's showing it as red. Is it red? I don't know. Guys, let me know. Is Tyson's nose red? Alright, sure. Without asking, Ty roughly cut his slice of cake in half and put the bigger half on my plate. Immediately after he scooped barely half of what I had onto his... Hey, this isn't... What? Just enjoy your dessert, you brat. just enjoy your dessert, you brat. I flashed Ty a smile and started with the cake, while he went for the tiramisu. It was a great chocolate cake, rich, slightly bitter without losing any of the normal sweetness you find in chocolate. If Orlando had made this for Tyson, had he just gone with the safe option, I'd have it before it was Orlando's go-to whenever it was someone's birthday. I bumped Tyson in the arm, giving him a quick smile, and he flashed me one back, seemingly in a better mood. When I'd finished my cake, I looked to the tiramisu. Tyson seemed to like it, and so I wondered how I enjoyed it. Taking a spoonful, I gave it a try. For me, my tiramisu was creamy and chocolatey, but with those familiar coffee tones that hit my nose whenever I moved the spoon through the cream. Yo, I love tiramisu. It's good. Tiramisu is good, but also for some reason, I also love tres leches cake, I think it is. I think it's like a cake that's like soaked in milk. I think that's what it is. I'm gonna go get some more water, guys. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I got more water, guys, because my throat's killing me from all this reading. The sound of the coffee always made me nostalgic, maybe because of how often I smelled it around my family home. It was a safe place, or at least something that I associated with safety. Before I knew it, I finished, sighing out the content as if a little sleepy, despite there being coffee involved. With everyone else well fed, we filed onto the floor ready to turn in for the night. What the? Yeah. Well, I'm B. Time to turn in. Haven't. Hold on one sec, guys. I'll be right back. I'm back, guys. Sorry. Like I say, I don't feel like editing my videos, especially my visual novel videos. So when I get better editing software, I'll probably take the initiative to edit my videos. But as of now, I don't feel like editing them. Anywho, well, I'm B. I'm gonna turn in. Haven't ate that one in a long. I realized I did not turn off my damn thing. Yeah, so I don't feel like editing my visual novel videos because one, it's a waste of time. Honestly, I just think it's better just to go with the flow. Anyways, well, I'm B. Time to turn in. Haven't ate that well in a long time. It was good, very good, better than what I've eaten. Really? That was restaurant quality, wasn't it? I'd say better. That perfect mix of restaurant quality and homey charm. I feel Lando tense up a bit to me. He took pride in his cooking, so I wasn't sure if he was taking it as a challenge or an overall compliment on his capacity as a cook. So, everyone turning in? I think so. I'm with Dean on this one. He shuffled up next to me and put an arm over my shoulder, flashing me a particularly bland grin. You with me, are you? Knowing where I'm going? Heck off, Bear. Oh, God. I blinked having heard that tone before. It was angry, possessive, and while rarely directed at me, it didn't normally mean anything good. Once I caught Dean off guard as he pulled his arm back and stepped away soon after. I heard Sal say something to Dean, arms folded across his chest, while Dean looked sheepishly yet apologetic. As for Orlando, he stepped forward to confront Zeiss. You should mind your tone, Wolf. What, you looking at pick over a fight on how I talk? If I was talking, I'd hate to have a civil conversation with you. Two stared, snarling at one another, and I looked between them, not sure of how to defuse the situation. So I took a step towards Orlando. Sal stepped forward from his talk with Dean and grabbed Ty under the arms, lifting him off the ground so he couldn't do anything more. Haas pulled Orlando aside to keep them properly separated. This might not be the best time, but I wanted to pitch something to everyone. How it was enough to defuse the situation that Roswell seemed to have the room to speak freely. Why am I reading so fast? Anyways. So, we're all here for a month, and I figured, why not make a game of it while we're here? What sort of game? Well, Haas and I found a gaming room on the same floor as the bedrooms. So, I was thinking something that DVDs or video games couldn't quite offer. Something you could do as a group, or in teams. Oh. What did you have in mind? I haven't gotten that far. Those grumbles from some of the others before I asked if he had any ideas, and the fire reignited in Roswell's eyes. Yeah, something I'll need to ask Benson first, but it has the potential to be a lot of fun. I like fun. Besides, playing only video games for a month seems, I don't know. Yeah, if I'm being honest, from someone who literally spends like almost 24/7 on my computer or on my Xbox, not the best thing. I need a better schedule. And I don't like classes neither. Like a waste of a mansion? Like a waste of a mansion. I agree. Not bad to have another option, I suppose. Outside of maybe finding a spot to do some fishing, I don't have any ideas. Sounds good to me. But if you need help, just give me a heads up. Same here. For now, I'm going to bed. Makes two of us. Night. Night, everyone. Dean and House wandered up the stairs and out of sight. Night, Dave. Yeah, sleep well. See you at breakfast. Then Russell and Orlando followed suit. Ty shrugged off Sal, grumbling. He was and let go, kicking the ground, annoyed. Tyson didn't really say much else, shooting Sal an unimpressed look before heading upstairs. As for Sal, he nodded once and gave me a small wave before heading upstairs all the others before him. I stood there taking another look around the grand entry. The furnishing, the stairs leading up to the first floor. If I were royalty, I'd feel a part in the castle easily. Still, something wasn't quite right. Something foreboding seems to be lingering just beyond view. Something that was making me feel uneasy, in the pit of my stomach. I felt the hair on the back of my neck stand on end, and I spun to see if anyone was there. If I hadn't watched Ty go upstairs on his own, I'd assume he was playing another trick on me. Still, I was alone for as far as I could see. No one's there, right? Silence. Mr. Benson? More silence. Maybe it was just tiredness? After all, there wasn't anything sinister here, right? We could trust Roswell's capacity to not invite us to a murder mansion for a vacation, right? Nothing could have beat the sight of my bed. By the time I got up to my room, as soon as I lay down, I hit my head on the pillow, I was out like a light. Day 1 path question mark. Wait, what? Okay, day 2 path question mark. Hey, it's day 2. Finally, we made it to day 2 on episode 2, and we're almost an hour in recording. That's crazy. Must have forgotten to set an alarm, for when I woke up, I had no idea what time it was. Still, I was thankful my room had an adjoining bathroom. A comfort that was somewhat familiar with what given my bedroom was like at home. My muscles felt sore. Maybe just from being in an unfamiliar bed, but given I had my own shower, what better time to test it out? I didn't have one before bed, and there's something to be said about bathing regularly. Oh, hey, I like the art. I'ma get a thumbnail shot, maybe? No. Art or not, hey, no, I'm not taking this as a thumbnail shot, even if it's not like showing any, it's just Dave taking a shower. Anyway, once I was under the water, I realized how gross I felt. Maybe it was just from sitting in the bus for hours, then wandering around an old house. Thankfully, I wasn't sharing a bed with anyone, but if that was going to happen, I guess the incentive to have a shower beforehand would have been there. Once I was dressed, I headed downstairs to breakfast, assuming everyone else was already there. Sure enough, I was the last to arrive. Much like dinner, there were trays out with typical breakfast fixings. Toast, eggs, bacon, cereal. Oh my god, I would love that right now. Have you guys ever just wanted to eat breakfast for like the entire day? I would love that. Hotel buffet style, if scaled down a bit, just for the 7 of us. Morning. Morning, Roswell. I sat down with my breakfast looking at what seemed to be distracting him. But the first thing I noticed was his notepad, open to a blank page with his pen posed to write something. It seemed like he was about to start writing before I noticed what was keeping him from doing so. His gaze pointed out to 2 distinct groups sitting at the table. At the far end of the table were Tyson and Sal, were Ty and Sal, with Sal almost playing a barrier between Tyson and the rest of us sitting at the other end of the table. They were making conversation with one another, although Sal seemed much more eager to eat than Ty. Down at our end of the table, Dean was making small talk with Orlando and Haas, but without fail, each of them would look over to the other 2. Things still tender from last night? A little bit, I think. No punches being thrown, but still. Is it really that bad? Russell shot me a look as if expecting me to know the answer. Hopefully this blows over soon. It's gonna make it an awkward month if they keep going at it the whole time. I nodded slowly, scratching the back of my head. We've been here for 1 night, and if we were here for a whole month, infighting was going to get old fast. It'd probably be fine. There's enough space to keep them separated. Probably. Enough space to let all of us do our own thing without stepping on any toes. Where does that leave you, though? Me? Well, I was going to finalize this thing and talk to Benson about stuff. Maybe look into what's around the mansion beyond the trees. What, in the forest? You were sleeping for most of the trip, but I know there's a river. Out there for if we wanted to go swimming or fishing. Fishing, maybe, but we have a pool for swimming. Okay, what about an old shack? What, like a tool shed? Exciting. More like a cabin, you dummy. How do you even know about something like that anyway? Roswell seemed taken aback, looking thoughtfully, if confused for a moment before replying. I think it was my parents. It might have been Benson. I don't know. Huh. Ty got up suddenly, seemingly done with his meal, and left. All eyes were on him as he did, but he didn't seem to care. As for Sal, he moved up to the rest of the group and remained as stoic as ever. Orlando, for the most part, seemed the most relieved with Tyson's absence, but Dean was the first to speak. Well, I don't know about what you guys are planning to do today, but I want to check out the greenhouse in the back. See what's growing in there. I'll go for a swim, maybe. Or the gym downstairs. How's the activity shaping up, Roswell? Any chance to talk to Benson about it yet? Not yet. Hope to have something sorted soon, though. If I see him before you do, I'll mention you want to see him. Oh, that's okay. I was going to wait here until he came to clean up after breakfast. Works for me. Gives me a chance to go for a walk and check out the rest of the place. That makes 2 of us. See you guys around. So we're all splitting up? Seems like it. See everyone at mealtime? Everyone else had left, that just left Roswell on there. He still had his pen posed to write, but his page was still empty. Need a hand? Oh, that's alright. You just get some coffee in you before you go feral. Hey, I'm not that bad without coffee. You're pretty bad. Fine. I ate and drank in relative silence. The prospect of me getting coffee seemingly an inspiration for a novel, or by how much Roswell was suddenly jolting down. When I was done, I left the dining room to explore. Where to check? God damn. Okay. We have the pool, rec room, gym, conservatory, museum, greenhouse. I'm pretty sure Ty is gonna be in the gym, so I'm gonna go check on him first after what happened last night. Hold on one sec, guys. My mouse wants to be an ass. There we go. I found myself heading down to the basement. Even as I walked down, I could hear and smell someone down here. Groans and grunts, the clanging of metal. It was only a matter of following the sounds that I came across another room down here. Well lit and lined with training equipment. 56, 57. From the looks of things, Ty was just doing weights, laying on his back and pushing himself without assistance. I could have sworn it was dangerous to do stuff like this solo, but he seemed to be managing. Hold on a sec, guys. I'm gonna refill my water. Alright guys, I got my water. Alright, I could have sworn it was dangerous to do this stuff solo, but he seemed to be managing, not that I really knew, despite having a part-time job in the gym for a while. Yay. He was struggling now, arms shaking as he was doing the reps. I'd stay near the entrance. I hate to see him accidentally drop it over his chest. I don't think I'd be much help getting it off him. 9. With a growl, he put the weight back on his stand, flopping over the bench, panting hard, tongue lolling at the side of his mouth. Working hard? What? Dave! How long have you been standing there anyway? How long? What'd you want? I was just checking in. Saw you were doing weights and, whoa, what is? Probably not gonna do it anymore. He rubbed his arms, looking gingerly over at the machine. I've pushed it a little hard this time. Added on too much weight or something. My arms are killing me already. Still, love that feeling you get after working out. The way my muscles feel. Don't do it as often as I want, but it makes me feel strong, yeah. I mean, we could probably find a way to get you a gym membership, if you wanted it at least. Pass. I can make do at home. You, on the other hand, okay, Ty, come on. You, on the other hand, could do with some exercise, though. Hey, I'm not that. I poked out my belly, grimacing. I'm just fluffy. Yeah, guys. Yeah, that's exactly what you say, guys. If you are, yeah, you just say you're fluffy, guys. You're not fat. You're just fluffy. Dave, he's just fluffy. You've seen him. We've seen him. Besides, last time I worked out, I don't think I was doing something right. I ended up hurting all over for a couple days after. I don't remember asking me for advice. Oh, no, I just went down to the park and kind of just wanted to try to copy what they were doing. I knew as soon as I said that, Ty was getting the wrong idea. Watching other guys, huh? Not like that, just a copy. Yeah, I'm sure you were. I grumbled, despite Ty thoroughly enjoying the implication of what I said. So, checked him enough yet? If all you're doing is lifting weights, I guess so. But the amount of noise you're making, it could have been anything. Didn't realize it was so loud. I guess I should be more careful in the future. Or, you know, close the door to the gym. Maybe I like to make a little noise. Besides, you can only hear me once you were down here, right? Well, yeah, I guess. That and smell you. Tyson's gaze narrowed. My nose twitched as I tilted my head slowly away from, uncertain of what he was looking at me like that for. You can smell me, huh? Yeah. And? My nose twitched again as I thought over my reply. You can use your shower. I like how you smell. Okay. You can use a shower. I like how you smell. You know what, guys? We are going to, for the jokes and all that, I like how you smell, man. What? What? I tilted my head again, confused. What do you mean? Oi, cut that out. You like how I smell? Yeah, what's wrong with that? Just don't go telling people that. They might get the wrong idea. You know, I think you're all kinds of fucked for being into that shit. Slowly, the realization dawned on me, my eyes widening in a panic as I tried to explain myself. Wait, no, that's not what I meant! Oh, so you're not into that sort of stuff, huh? I grumbled as Typhus with a fur on top of my head, aggressively enough to shake me around slightly. Jerk. Brat. Your nose might be good, but it's gonna get you in trouble one day. Still. Huh? You like how I smell? Am I getting a real answer this time? Oh, well, I guess it's just that it's familiar. If I can smell you, I know you're nearby, and that's, I don't know, something I'm used to? Huh. Whatever the reason, it seemed to make Ty think, his eyes drawn away from me with his brows furrowed. After a few moments of silence, I figured I should change the topics. So what? Are you just gonna keep exercising, or are you done for the day? I haven't decided yet. Probably best I stay out of the way of everyone else. We just don't get on. I don't think we ever will, right? Can't believe time for feeling this way. After all, for a lot of us, he's been common link given the schools he's been into in the past. Didn't help that nearly all of them he was kicked out for his bad behavior. His reputation as a bully preceded him. Not to mention how he behaved last night. Then why are we friends with him? I need the lore on Tyson. We never really got the lore of Tyson. We got the lore of everyone else, how we met everyone else. We never really knew how we met Tyson. Somehow we ended up the unlikely friends, given the happy stance, really. Well, what? I guess I'll leave you to it. I'm gonna keep exploring. Alright, see you, Bob. I wandered out the gym and headed back upstairs, leaving Tyson to figure out what he wanted to do on his own. Where to check? Conservatory, museum. There's so much here, bro. Let's go to the pool. Let's see what Sal's up to. Wandering outside, I searched the pool. In search of the pool, I didn't have to look very hard as the smell of chlorine and the sound of splashing guided me towards a large, fenced-off area at one end of the backyard. Oh my god, this is a nice pool. Sal was on the other side of the fence swimming laps while I looked for a way in. He came over and waited by the side of the pool. I don't know how I missed the gate twice on my search, but once I found it, I wandered over to Sal. Oh, hey, buddy. Took you long enough. Hey, the gate was hard to find. There's a few. Watch as Sal then proceeded to point out each of the gates in turn, as I felt stupid for not seeing them sooner. But it was easy to see them now that I knew what they looked like. Oh, neat. They're not that hard to spot if you know what you're looking for. I guess it's just one of those things that I haven't had much exposure to, you know? Not having a pool at home and all. Do you not know how to swim? Nah, I know how to swim. I've been to the beach and parents had me take lessons when I was a kid. The corner of Sal's mouth went up, jeering smile. Lessons. Cute. Taking a breath in, he dove back in the pool and disappeared under the water. His silhouette moved as he swam from one end of the pool and back out, coming up for air once. When he came back, I could see him staring from me under the water, expression focused of concern. Can he breathe underwater? That's the thing. Can he breathe underwater since he's an alligator? With him swimming around so much, I wonder if I should have brought my own swimming trunks with how tempting I was looking. Soon enough, he continued his laps, leaving me to look around. There wasn't much of the pool itself, aside from it being large. There were storage lockers here, and most were open, shy of two that seemed to be closed and locked. Aside from that, some spare gear, flippers, and Santa stuff. All of it was in its own locker behind a wired fence. I was back in front of the lockers checking things out before I realized Sal was standing behind me. Ah! Almost effortlessly, he picked me up by the waist and shifted me aside to get in the locker he'd been standing in front of, pulling the key out of his Speedo to open one of the lockers. You could just do that? Wouldn't it get lost in the water? You have your own locker already? I needed a place to store my towel. Oh, right, that makes sense. My man's built. Look at him, man. Look at him. Like that. Sal, you get a thumbs up of approval. You get. I want to hug him. You could take a different one. Keys are just sticking out if you ever decide to join me. Despite retrieving a towel, he didn't retrieve his clothes, instead looking off somewhere and leaving his locker open. He looked inside, back to Sal, and then to the locker again. Showers are this way. Oh, neat. Did you see they have flippers? Flippers, Sal. You don't need flippers if you can swim. They're fun. They make you go fast. Sal shook his head, sighing. He closed the door to his locker and led the way over to what appeared to be a stall using wooden privacy screen, similar to what you see at the beach. Can you hold my towel? Okay, sure, easy. Sal disappeared behind the screen and threw his towel over the top of the booth. I caught it, admitting how plush it was to touch. To the touch, wondering if it was the same towel from the ones in the bathrooms inside. I heard water start to run, and I called over to Sal. How's the water today? Good? Yes. His voice came out clear enough, so I guess he could hear me fine enough. And you were just doing laps? There was a grunt of affirmation before I heard the water turn off, and I grimaced, wondering if I was just a poor conversationalist. That said, Sal had always sort of been this way as far as interactions. I realized that despite the water turn off, Sal hadn't said anything. Call out, throw towel over, do nothing. Let's throw the towel over. In the same way that I had been thrown over the first time, I returned it in the same way. The sound of it being snatched in the air preceded the sound of a hurried drying. Thank you. Sal stepped out. He didn't usually smile, but he stepped past, patting me on the shoulder as we headed over to the deck chairs. Good weather for relaxing. Oh, yeah. I don't think they were forecasting any rain today, at least. Even if it rained, it'd be fine. I like the rain. I remember the day we met, it'd been raining, and I noticed that Sal had been standing outside in it for a solid hour. At first, I thought he'd just forgotten his umbrella while he was waiting for the bus home. Nope, he just really enjoyed the rain. So, I think I'm going to check on the other parts of the house. Okay. I have sworn there was a tinge of sadness in his voice, but he made no effort to stop me going. Maybe he was lonely, but Sal hadn't struck me as someone wanting company all that often, if at all. Remember, the gate is over there. Laughing nervously, I backed away and left Sal to do his own devices. It was hard enough to get a read on him, even on a good day, but that's just the kind of person he was. Where to check? We were already outside, so let's check the greenhouse. He'd mentioned this morning that he was going to check the greenhouse. I hadn't been to a proper greenhouse before, so this was the perfect time to check it out. Dean, you in here? Yeah, just a second. Oh, hey, good looking. Come to see me especially? Must be my lucky day. Sorta. You said you were checking the greenhouse out. Figured I'd come check it out too. He gestured to the pots and plants around him, wearing his trademark friendly smile. What do you think? It seems neat, I guess. I inhaled deep through my nose, enjoying how fresh and earthy everything smelled. Only neat? Okay, so it's pretty good. I like how it smells in here. You and your nose. But yeah, I suppose you're right about it. It's very fresh in here. Although, maybe don't go poking holes in bags of fertilizer unless you want a different sort of smell of salt in here. I chuckled, shooting him a toothy grin. So you've been checking things out here since breakfast? Pretty much. There's a lot more out here than I assumed there would be, but I guess if someone's living here, it makes sense that there'd be something. Pity we're only here for a month, otherwise I'd pinch in and grow something too. There's potting soil, trowels, a cabinet with various seeds, everything you can need to get to work. How's my impression on Dean, guys? I feel like he would have that like sort of soft like country accent. I'm giving more Sal like more sort of a, I don't know. What kind of accent am I giving him? I don't even know. I just like the voice acting. I feel like it brings the character in it, and I don't know. If we were staying here longer, I'd probably try growing something. Shame we're only here for a month. Oh yeah? What'd you grow? Vegetables? Well, he shuffled uncomfortably, avoiding my gaze. He snuck a look at me, flashing a warm, if feeling smile before replying. Water break, guys. Alrighty. I mean, I do like fresh vegetables, but flowers probably. Flowers? When I questioned him, Dean shuffled on the spot. He looked uncomfortable and muttered something under his breath. Something I couldn't quite catch. Next thing I knew, he looked at me in the eye in a serious tone. Can I be honest? Sure. He sighed out, looking away again. There's a great deal of things I like to grow. Trees, flowers, vegetables. Hell, growing a tree to cut it down for lumber to make something for the house. Or flowers to bring home to my beloved. The moment he said that, I felt uncomfortable, knowing where his intentions were. I knew what he wanted, and I wanted to recuperate. I don't know. I don't know what that word is. I genuinely did. But there were things that made it that complicated. If things had gone a little differently, I probably would have been jumping up and down at the prospect of getting flowers. Well, that'd be the best case scenario, of course. You never know. We might end up, you might end up getting to have a proper date one of these days, and you would be set, making a clean getaway with all the fresh grown goods from your personal farmer. Dean's laughter seemed genuine, but there was still that tinge of sadness that followed. There's already things in here growing, so I could take care of them instead of growing something from a seed. Much faster, and honestly, probably for the best. Just in case there's a setup or something, I don't want to go messing with that just in case. Yeah, probably a good idea. Don't want to get caught growing weed or something. You know, I probably could if I tried hard enough, and if there was something already started here, although don't know much about it. Again, he laughed, and I fought the urge to ask if he was serious or not. So, what are you doing, Dave? Going to keep looking about? Huh? Unless you ask that. You seem like wandering about. I'm pretty safe here for the time being, so you hanging out here would be nice, but you're gonna get bored. I chuckled nervously. While the place seemed neat, he was right. I had no idea about most of the stuff in here, and I just didn't have the same passion for it Dean had. You got me there, so I guess I'll see you later. Excuse me? You stay out of trouble now. By the way, I have to mention this. My computer sucks, so like if I'm recording like a really long video, the video is just gonna end randomly. So yeah, I'm reading on my other screen to know like when the video is gonna like cut. So if there's no outro, just know that my computer sucks, guys. I don't know why that just came up randomly. It's probably because we're over an hour of recording. Dean wandered off behind some other plants, humming to himself as he did so. As for me, I headed back inside the mansion to figure out my next move. Where to check? Okay, so we can check the rec room. It didn't take long wandering around the first floor to find the games room. It was one of the more bigger rooms by the floor. Ugh. The moment I stepped in, I almost jumped from the sudden cheering coming from Orlando standing by the machine against the wall. High score! Woo! As I wandered closer, I saw that he was hunched over a pinball machine. A look of focus and joy spread across his face as he watched the ball move inside the machine. I love pinball machines, guys. They're fun. While he finished his game, I had a look around the room. There was a bar in the corner, a few tables set up, and a shy mass of beanbags stacked neatly on the far wall. I would have assumed was a casino. Pretty cool, huh? Ugh, I can't. Orlando's voice I can't do properly. It's very, I said ritzy, but he's been saying that about the place in general, really. Orlando stepped back from the machine, having finished his game for the time being. He's not wrong though. When I walked in, I thought I was about to get catered for walking into a private casino. They pointed out some of the machines nearby against the wall, and there just seemed to be slot machines. Just as well, I don't have my ID on me. But you're not underage. Neither of us are anymore. Don't they need to do that anyway, just to be sure? Maybe, but even then, you got your wallet on you, right? Next thing I saw, Orlando patting down his pockets frantically. I must have left it in my room. Then you could have just gone to your room to get it, right? Oh, I suppose that's true. Better tell Roswell, because he's gonna get catered for sure. Assuming they let him in at all. Somehow, I think casinos wouldn't want Roswell anywhere near the card tables. How old are we all? Because Dave said we're not underage anymore, so we have to be in like really like early adult, because like we finished school, so in between like 18 through like early 20s maybe. Between you forgetting your ID and Roswell not being allowed in, I'm sure you two would much rather go do something else anyway. Probably. The pair of them make quite the duo, which was probably why they ended up having a lot of fun running to school and running in the school's anime club, as unpopular as it was at the start of the year. So you just been playing pinball, or have you tried anything else in here? Mostly pinball. Don't want to try setting the other things up just yet. What other thing? There's a whole bunch of game systems hooked to the TV or projector sort of thing over there. I couldn't figure out how to turn it on, and when there's something I can pick up to play with, why bother? That, I guess. There are card tables too, I'm sure you've seen. More for poker, I think, but that's more Roswell's thing. Most of our cards have holo foil and set numbers. Oh yeah, for booster packs. And you make the decks and win. Well, I prefer more to collect. Tried the competitive thing once, but well, you were there for that. At the convention, right? I didn't think that many played card games. You were there to look. Third thing. Anyways, yeah. I can't speak today, guys. You just like going in costumes. You just liked going in costumes as that one game that was really hard. Hey, it was a bit of fun. But I don't think many people really recognize the character. It was still fun though. Maybe next time Rocks will come. At the very least, it was good to know that there was something else here I could do instead of hanging out in the kitchen every day. Given how you made everyone dessert last night, it's no surprise you'd spend a lot of time in the kitchen. Well, I tried with what I had to work with. Tyson and Haas were the hard ones. Chocolate cake seemed the safe bet. For Tyson? Well, I don't really, you don't really what? Like him. But can't have him not get a dessert. Imagine the fuss he'd make. Imagine what he might do to me. Well, I would have shared with him if that happened. You did like yours though, right? Yeah, it had coffee, so I was happy. But now that I think about it, what? Are you open to request? Depends. On what? The fridge is completely stockpiled with stuff, so we're fine for food for a long while, it seems. Save for the pantry, at least basic Sandre. So as long as it's within the house or not overly complex, there shouldn't be any problems. So, what about if I wanted pie? Pie, huh? Sure, pie's great. That should be easy enough. What flavor though? I scratched my chin thinking about it. Apple pie, cherry pie, or pumpkin. Okay, I'm gonna get this out of the way right now. Okay, don't hate me. Okay, you guys are probably gonna hate me for this. All the apple pie lovers out there, I'm saying this right now. I do not like apple pie. I'm more of a cherry pie guy. Like pumpkin pie is good. It splits in the middle, but I don't like apple pie. I don't like apples in general. Like the only thing apple related that I like is either apple juice or applesauce. Those are the only two things I like related to apples. I don't like apples in general. Like, if I had to eat it for like a straight week, I would do that. Like, I wouldn't fuss about it. It's apples. I think it's probably just the skin that I don't like. Even though, like, are you supposed to... I don't know. We're gonna do cherry pie, because why not? No sooner than I said my preference, than a broad grin broke over Orlando's face. Eyes wide, shimmered with delight. Cherry pie? For a moment, I thought I said something wrong with how he was reacting, but he quickly grabbed my hands in his. Happily, it could be. I love cherry pie. Oh, but why? The tartness, the color, the flavor. Plus, it was a favorite of my grandpa's. So, all in all, good memories. It's probably the best pie there is. Have you not had it before? I shook my head, struggling. That's criminal. Well, good thing you picked cherry then. I laughed, backing up a bit. Did you need help making it? No, I got it covered. The kitchen is a great oven, so no need to breathe on anything this time. I don't think you need to breathe on anything last time, though. If you have fire breath, why not try it? Imagine how hard it would be. Oh yeah, he's a dragon. Where are your wings at then? Where's your wings? If you have fire breath, why not try it? Imagine how handy it'd be to know what you could do and what it could be used for. Hold on, my dogs are barking. Hey, stop it! My puppies are barking. They'll hear something random in the night, and they'll just start barking. It's so cute too. They're babies, so of course. But cooking, Grandpa seemed to think it was a neat idea to try. You know, make the most of what skills you have. I mean, it was still a little burned in places, and undercooked in others. Not my proudest moment. For as much of a failing experiment it was, Orlando was typically on the mark with his more experimental pieces. He made the call to use his fire breath when the oven was playing up, and well, still gotta keep at it, right? I'm in it just to make things, and pie is just pie. Pie is pie. Yep. And something I also need to start on later. So I'm gonna get some more exploring done before I get stuck in the kitchen. Oh, you don't need to do anything right away, Hannes. Don't worry, I want to make you the pie. I really do. Oh, well, so I'll see you at dinner. I'll see you at dinner, I think. Just don't go sleeping through if you go for a nap. I won't. Orlando bounded past me and out of the door, leaving me alone in the room. It seemed like a fun place, but without anyone to share it with, there was little reason to stay. There was every chance I'd find myself in here later, so for now I left. Okay, 3 more places. Let's go to the conservatory. Let's just go down. Wandered all the way upstairs to where I run into Roswell and Haas the day before. As I entered the room, I saw Haas looking around, seemingly minding his own business. Oh, hey. So what brings you up here? Just looking around. What? Not looking to spend some quality time with me instead? Oh, you know, if you just want some quality time with Senpai, you just had to ask. Okay. That's not... No. Come on, Dave. Relax a little. It's what I'm doing after all. In here? Why not? Conservatories are great. Like a greenhouse for people. You can just be outside without being outside? Hey, there's more to it than that. How often do you get to be in a conservatory anyway? Outside that board game? Never. Even in a board game, I don't think it counts. You're talking about the one where you solved the murder of the butler, right? Was he even the butler that was killed? You know, it's been so long since... they're talking about Clue. Looking back ever since I played it, I wonder what conservatory actually was. I guess I know now. Generally, it's just a posh sitting room. I mean, it seems kind of redundant when you got a place like this big, not to mention the backyard being as big as it is. Right, you use this room for what exactly? Reading? Good read, yeah. But wouldn't it be impossible when night fell? With all the windows, I mean. Good thing they have lights then, I guess. Wouldn't people be able to see in it? Normally, yeah, but who's gonna be looking in? The force around the mansion means that the closest neighbor would need a telescope at best. Yes, you're right. I kinda like it though. I'd probably do my morning stretches in here as opposed to my bedroom. Stretches? You mean yoga? Pilates? I don't think he's the type of... He looks like the type of guy to do yoga, but Pilates? Yeah, sure, Pilates. That's it. Oh, hey, that's it. Woo! Do I win a prize? Not this time. Unless getting an invitation to join me counts. Oop, why would I do that? Well, I do stretches every morning just to keep my body healthy. It's not about flexibility or building mass, just to make sure I can do whatever is needed on set. He puffed out his chest proudly, hands on his hips. He looks a little more like Not bulky, but you know, like chest-wise. Besides, there's always that backup plan. What's that? Could always pole dance with the amount of core strength I can build up. Okay. Wait, really? Hey, gotta start somewhere. You'd be surprised what people are willing to do to get a shot on the big screen. You can't be serious, are you? What? People do that stuff. People do that stuff like that. People do stuff like that to get famous. That, and if you seriously consider pole dancing, I don't think it'd ever come to that. I'm confident I can land a role without resorting to that. Anyway, I'll stretch out, looking me over, shooting me a happy smile. You know, you should join me sometimes, honestly. Wait, what? Really? Sure, couldn't hurt. Why? Worried I'd be getting you up at dawn? A little? Alright, then I'll hold up getting up at dawn if I'm dragging you along. Normally I'm up really early, but I'm willing to make an exception. Maybe Sal would be a better choice. He's up early too. Yes, huh? Might join if he's doing something like a morning jog. I want to reconsider if he's doing the pool. Where's that? That chlorine in this fur? You know the damage that could do? Oh, but wouldn't a shower help with that? Obviously, but drying off first only to take a shower later seems a bit double handling, don't you think? Oh, no, there's a shower at the pool itself, so you could just shower there. Oh, well, that's alright then. I might go see you what his morning routine has got planned later then. Also got to the side stretching again. Still, despite being on holiday, gotta keep that practice up, just in case. So if you're ever interested in helping me with lines, just let me know. Sure, but what happens now? I'll probably stick around here and lounge about, check the acoustics of the room, maybe get catnapping. Yourself? I don't really know yet. Probably keep wandering for a bit longer. Well, in that case, I'll see you later. I nodded to Hoss before heading back down, figuring I'll continue looking around elsewhere. Okay, the museum. I found myself at the top floor again, following the sounds of someone humming. The room was large, reminiscing of a study on steroids, or probably a trophy room that even a library that had more than just books. Roswell was already wandering around, his hands over some of the books, looking over them before he noticed me. Oh, Dave, I see you there. Roswell wandered over, happy as could be. This place is great. They have books on nearly anything you ask for. Really? Really. Even if you own ghosts and summoning demons, haven't had a proper look, but it's an interesting collection, that's for sure. You're telling me, what sort of place has books like that? Russell snickered to himself, shaking his head. No ordinary mansion, that's for sure. You didn't really sell our souls for this, right? Like, that was only to mess with Orlando. I promise nothing like that. Russell unwrapped a piece of candy and threw it in his mouth, smiling to himself. I had a look around the books, I had a look, and those books looked sketchy at best. Almost like made as a joke. It wouldn't surprise me if some of those were made to mess with people. Still what? If they're just to mess with people, they can't be that dangerous, could they? I can guarantee there's a very, very low chance of anyone just picking up one of these books to do any real harm. Unless they decide to bug in you from behind. Well, not funny. No one's barbaric enough to commit murder with one of these books. They aren't nearly heavy enough. I followed Russell, pointing out some of the books on the top shelf of the bookcase. The only really heavy ones are those encyclopedias up there. It'd be a lot of work to get them down just to hit someone over the head. You could do better with, like, a knife or something. Once again, I felt uneasy about how casually Roswell was talking about how one could off someone with what was in this room. Roswell must have noticed and hurriedly dug around his pocket for another piece of saltwater taffy. He ended up for me. Sorry. Too much detail? Just maybe a little. Don't worry, these sort of things are so low in probability of happening, you have a better chance at winning the lottery. My attention went to the suit of armor in the corner, a large sword resting underneath his handsome palm. What about something like that? As I pointed out, Russell followed my gaze and nodded slowly. It's possible. I mean, borrowing the sword seemed eager than climbing onto the ladder to get a heavy book, right? The way Russell seemed to thoroughly consider the option was almost worrying. Hold on, it's like water break. Well, maybe. Have you ever used a sword before? Ones like those can be kind of weighty. Not to mention you have a hard time prying one away from the armor. What makes you say that? Well, because it's display. Chances are the sword is tied down to something or in some way attached it to stop it from falling over. Normally, someone wearing the suit would be pushed down, to keep it standing upright like that. I guess that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, Roswell, anything else deadly in the room I should know about? Roswell laughed in my attempt to lighten the mood, and I found myself smiling too. Deadly? No. Although, if you ever look for information or just need things to look at in this room, I want to keep exploring the room. Still plenty of things to check out. What about you? I guess I'll keep looking around the mansion. I haven't really thought that far ahead. Oh my god. If you get bored, you'll know where to find me. Giving me a quick salute, Roswell wandered away, disappearing behind the bookcase while I turned around in the room. Alright, the last place, the vault. Okay, the music stopped. Somehow, at some point, I found myself looking at the familiar looking door. Somehow, something about the room seemed weird, almost as if a haze lingered in the room. But as much as it fell off, my body dragging me across the keypad next to the door. Maybe I should just try putting in something given I'm here. I'm gonna try the same thing I did. The lovers. It was the delay as it seemed I was thinking about what I typed in. Eventually I heard a click before it started beeping in the air. I guess I didn't like what I typed in after all. It almost seemed like it was correct for a second there. Time seemed to slip away from me. I wasn't sure how long I ended up standing there, but I could hear the dinner bell ringing. I trudged up towards the dining room in a daze, and as it turned out, I was the last one to arrive. Hey, Dave? I must have sat down next to her as well when I answered. It was the closest chair to the door by far. Not only that, but the food was already on the table. How long was I on autopilot? Looked wrecked. Are you alright? Yeah, I think so. My head felt cloudy, fuzzy, as if I'm still waking up. Well, if you're sure. I remember nodding with my awareness slowly returning. Maybe I'm just tired? I know I was downstairs before, and I guess I just zoned out. Downstairs? In the gym? No, in that other room, with the one with the big door. Oh yeah, that's the vault. I know the one you're talking about. The vault? Right, because how the door looks, even has a keypad next to it. Wanting a password, so it's bound to have something important behind it. Tried a bunch of words though, nothing. Not even password. All I did was beep at me. Why, that's... I didn't even know that was possible. Oh, I thought it was maybe like a computer, so I sort of looked away quickly, eyes bulging and looking worried. Wait. Is that the password to your computer, Roswell? No, don't be silly. Just please maybe forget that. Please. It's the password to his computer. So I turned to the food in front of him and I began eating. As much as the same, but I found myself thinking about what I'd seen so far. The pool looked inviting enough. At the very least, Sal seemed to enjoy, not to mention the fact that it seemed equipped with everything just hanged by shy of a mini bar. The gaming room seemed fun, although I worried how to Orlando perceived it. It wasn't really a casino, right? The gym is something I'm not sure I'll use, at least not to the extent Ty is likely going to use it. Good to know I had a place to work off some of the food we were eating while we stayed here. If I wanted a place to relax, the conservatory seemed like a good place to go. Might have to fight Haas for the space, depending on if he was using it for rehearsal. It was a museum full of stuff that honestly I didn't expect from this place. Still, probably more things there for me to find if I looked hard enough. The greenhouse was cool. It was almost like a private jungle given Dean's interest, a place where there was every likelihood he used the seclusion too well. Well, he did make the effort of it, especially if we were the only ones there. Once again, I zoned out, the rest of the dinner being a blur. I vaguely remember everyone saying goodnight, and I think I replied. Being alone in the dining room put me on edge. I don't know why, but maybe it was just the isolation. With my vision focused, I realized that I wasn't the only one in the room after all. Oh, Benson. Oh. Bar gave me an appraising stare, his gaze dwelling into the mix of curiosity and concern. Are you well? You seem distressed. My mouth felt dry suddenly, and I quickly looked around. Yeah, I'm fine. An hour-long stretch of silence passed. Despite being on the opposite side of the table, it felt like you were right next to me, and not in a good way. Just fine. Tired, maybe? I don't know. Then may I suggest you return to your room and retire for the night. The others have all done the same, and the mansion is far too large to be wandering around by oneself at the dead of night. Is it dangerous? There was no response, shy of his polite smile, but in a way, the smile made me tense up more, making me feel more uneasy. Oh, how would I say dangerous, Master Dave? No danger so long as everyone is in their bed. What? My gaze narrowed, confused how he phrased that seemed off. Make it sound like they're not all in their beds. Again, that polite smile returned. His voice was level and calm. At the very least, you aren't. Vincent turned briskly on his heel and slowly wandered away. The moment he was out of sight, a chill ran down my spine. I made my way up there as fast as my legs would take me until I was in my room. The moment I got to the other side of the why did the music turn this intense? The moment I got to the other side of the door, I closed it and started to pace. I was just imagining things. It was all in my head, whatever it was that I was feeling. It was just an unfamiliar house, and I hadn't settled in yet. Despite reinforcing this in my head, I yelped whenever I heard knocking on my door. I froze staring at the door, unnerved by Benson's behavior downstairs, gulping, and I croaked out. Come in? Hey, Dean. Dean eased open the door and closed it shut behind him, eyes trained on me and looked irritated. Hey, Dean. You were out at dinner. What's wrong? Nothing at all. Dean clicked his tongue before shaking his head. No, I know something's up. I know of you long enough to learn that much. Dave, spill it. I shuffled uneasy on the spot, avoiding Dean's gaze. Does something feel off about this place to you? About Benson? The question seemed to take Dean back. He blinked and seemed to think it over. While he was thinking, I continued. He's the only staff. We've seen no one else. Dean crossed the room and placed his hands on my shoulder, waiting until I looked at him proper. Are you okay? Yeah, I think so. Why? Just rattled? Yeah. Dean kneaded my shoulder, massaging the tension that I've been holding in on my neck. Maybe he wanted to do more, or say something, but his eyes held fast to the spot floated by. Alright, well, if you want to talk, I'm just down the hall. I flashed him a weary smile, seeing if I could lighten the mood. Just talk? He stopped suddenly, looking down at me before meeting my smile with his own. Then that smile grew into one of Dean's signature grins. Just talk, huh? Well, I suppose if talking isn't enough, we could do something else with our mouths. Okay. I laughed a lot as all my worries fell away right then and there. God damn it. He leaned down and gave me a quick hug before holding me gently at arm's length. No, this music. Everything will be fine, Dave. But if it ever bothers you, you know where I'll be. You know how I am. Don't think for a second that I'm not looking out for you, alright? Promise. With another nod, he was gone. A faint fluttering on my chest made me feel warm and comforted. With my mind at ease, fatigue hit me hard, and I turned in for the night. Day 3, path still question mark. Despite going into bed relatively calm after talking to Dean, I didn't sleep well. I was up early, my body telling me that I'd had enough rest. Not that I felt rested, my head was still spinning. I let my eyes wander to the bedroom I claimed as my own, but it lacked the familiar comforts of home. The house was giving me an odd feeling. Was it the vault? Was it the lack of staff? Was it something else? Even then, what was hiding behind the door? Was it something important like Roswell thought? My thoughts raced through my mind as I could hear other things going on in the house, or at least I assumed that's what I was hearing. Pulling over, I wondered if it was worth taking Dean up on his offer. I grabbed my phone. It was early, and I wondered if my paranoia was worth bothering one of the others. I'd already started flicking through my contacts, having made up my mind. All that was left was to decide who to message. Okay, so we can message all these people. Well, I think that is going to be it for today's episode of Password. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Road to 100 followers, guys. We're almost there. We're past halfway there. Let's see if we can make it to 100, y'all. And if we can, I'll do a special live stream on I'll do a live stream on over on Twitch or here, depends, but I don't know. But hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Next video or next video on password, we will be continuing day 3. Probably continue on the entire more of the game depending on how long it takes. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Please again, like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let's see, if you made it to the end of the video, comment down below your favorite character from here. Me personally, from here. Don't say, like, actually, yeah, we could say Dave. Yeah, for me, I am going with Tyson 100%. He is just gotta love the fella. Anywho, hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time. Have a fabulous night. Peace out.